Good day to all of you. This is Pelham Daily Culture special edition in the middle of war in Ukraine. We are in Warsaw, but the war is very close to us, and another flood and a wave of refugees is flooding Warsaw. We are witnessing all of this and trying to understand. We'll talk today more about the religious aspect and of this war and what is happening. With me is Marek Kądzielski, Polish philosopher. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolute horrible things are happening in Ukraine. A lot of civilians are dying. Ukraine seems to be alone also in this battle. There is a lot of very small also political support. And what we as Christians are asking ourselves, and I guess most of the Christians in the world are asking this question, is where is the voice of the Pope? Because it seems like the Pope is silent. Moreover, he was invited by the mayor of Kiev, by Klitschko, to Kiev to go, to be there, to witness, maybe to stop the Russian troops and Russian bombs attacking the civilians. But as we see, that Pope Francis didn't decide to go, and his voice is very weak and almost not heard in any of the parliaments in Europe, and I would say it's hard to understand.
This is unfortunately hard to understand. Well, my master, Professor Wolniewicz, used to say that it seems that the Holy Spirit has abandoned the Catholic Church. As we say in Latin, that Spiritus Flatus vivult, and he is not willing to manifest in the Catholic Church, taken formally. There must be a reason for that. First, what must be stated, that Ukrainians are really very brave, and they are opposing his unprovoked aggression that is directed not only against the Ukrainian army, but simply against Ukrainian population, civilians, the nation. So the war is exactly the same as World War II, because it spreads out against the whole nation. This is obviously the manifestation of evil. And evil is a power, the force that is manifested through people in the world, and it's self-propelled, it's proactive, it shall not stop. Usually, Church knew what to do when taken with evil, because there is no discussion with the devil. If you take this institution that we have in the Church, which is an exorcism, the exorcism is not a discussion, it's not a dialogue, it's a fight. You fight against evil, and this is the only possible reaction to such manifestation of evil. So, of course, what we expect from Vatican is a very strong voice against the evil itself, and only then against the evil manifested through Russian policy.
But also a moral voice in Europe, because after all, there are so many actions of such Catholic states as France, the daughter of Church, and now we know very well that they were selling equipment and military equipment to Russia, and they openly say it. Moreover, it's a huge Macron, and in his ways, in his speeches, and even in throwing up this huge conference in Versailles, like it was a kind of feast, or if it was a kind of party, to showing the glamour of French culture in the moment when the Ukrainians are dying and the great pieces of culture in Ukraine are destroyed forever. And we say it all, and France is behaving also very as if it was not their concern, as they were afraid of things. And moreover, cooperating as well, and the Pope is not chastising them. The role of the Pope is to is even to chastise and to even punish and say things very harsh to the leaders of Europe, as to the Catholic leaders. And it seems like the Pope, I don't know, is afraid of its political position or is afraid of his life. The Pope shouldn't be afraid of his life.
The Pope should not be afraid of his life, because the Pope is one of the cardinals, and this is the duty of the cardinals to witness for the Christ and for these values, even for the price of their own blood and their lives. I remember John Paul II asking in Paris publicly, "What have you done with your baptism, France?" So we may repeat this. It seems that France is a pagan state that deals with Russia for the price of Ukrainian blood, and the same applies to German policy. I think the horror is happening in Europe right now. The horror of evil spreading from one hand in war, in the acts of war, in the deeds of mass destruction of civilian population in Ukraine. But on the other hand, the evil that is silently spreading in the cabinets of and suits of politicians, in the conference in Versailles, when you see the gold and the wealth against the background of slaughtered nation. This is absolutely unacceptable.
And we can also say that doing nothing is in fact going hand in hand with the evil, and that's why when people are standing by and not protesting and not fighting against it, so in fact they are cooperating and being in favor of it. And unfortunately, we are right now witnessing it when it comes with the Russian aggression on Ukraine. I have no idea how it's going to develop, how it's going to escalate, and what will the future bring. But it's the message for today that the Western nations, and especially the Christian nations, should wake up. And thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.